The creator of Dragon Bal Super, Akira Toriyama, has released a letter that details personal information about him, a lot of his background, what goes inside his incredible mind. And I think if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Super, of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, any of his works like Dr. Slump and the stuff he does with Dragon Quest, I think you guys should really watch this video and get to know the man himself, Mr. Akira Toriyama. So this is very, very interesting. And shout out to my good friend Ken Cyro on Twitter for doing the translations. Make sure you guys follow him. He has a lot of great content on Twitter, and make sure you let him know that I sent you there. But anyways, let's actually go through this letter from Akira Toriyama, and Anime News Network actually kind of gives us some context, saying that he basically couldn't make it to a special event that aired on Thursday to celebrate the 30th anniversary since the original Dragon Quest game debuted, so he sent a letter instead. But they didn't translate the whole letter, so that is why Ken Zaro did it for us, helping the community out. But let's get through the actual letter. So it says, "It is me, Mr. Akira Toriyama. I'm sorry for not being able to appear in person for the new game. I used to design the characters for Dragon Quest without taking it too seriously, and of course it's being more serious now. But yeah, this happens to a lot of artists. What is a role-playing game? This is what people would have thought back then. To think that it is still around after 30 years, honestly, I would have never even imagined that. Although it's not good to do the exact same thing for such a long time. So before we continue, let's break this down. I actually didn't expect the game to last 30 years as well, or the series, so I'm surprised as much as he is and other fans as well. But in terms of the last sentence, that it's not good to do the exact same thing for such a long time, this is very common from artists, especially artists that are super gifted and talented like Mr. Akira Toriyama. If you look at Rick and Morty, you actually notice that Rick, the scientist who's extremely intelligent, he gets bored really easily. And artists around the world, when it comes to dancing or art or whatever, artists tend to get bored very easily for doing the same thing for a short period of time. So, and then they move on to other things. And the same thing is happening with Akira Toriyama. Now, let's continue. To design the characters of Dragon Quest was both fun and hard work. Although I'm not making as many designs anymore as I used to. I mean, the guy's 61 years old, let's be real here. The characters I'm responsible for these days are mostly not so casual looking, but instead are serious. But personally, I'm not much interested in such characters, and I've not been able to do much variations on them either. Now, he's not really just referring to, even though this is about Dragon Quest, this is just Akira Toriyama in general. If you look at characters like Zeno-sama, I mean, the guy looks like a little kid. He doesn't look like a serious character. And if you look at other characters as well, like Monaka, this is Akira Toriyama, okay? So he doesn't really enjoy doing these super serious characters for such a long time. He enjoys having fun with it. But anyways, moreover, the genre being fantasy only adds to my problems. Every time I repeat an idea, it gets that much more difficult to design more characters because of the complexity of the characters. And I'm in a situation where I'm using every drawing trick that exists in the book. And yeah, this guy is doing every type of character that is out there. I mean, very incredible that he can still create original designs, but it is very tough as an artist, man, to continue to come up with these things. So shout out to him. The degree of freedom with which I can draw is also limited, as the design settings are quite specific, and here's where things get really interesting. Due to this reason, some of my bizarre character designs, which I personally liked, have been rejected. And I already mentioned this, how again, he doesn't like to do super serious characters. He likes to have fun with it, do complex characters, weird characters, and he's being restricted as an artist, which makes it really hard for him. And after all this time, I left with the memories of the time when I could freely draw a small fried monster without any restrictions. But of course, because of corporations and of people wanting to make money, there are a lot of restrictions. And actually this was very apparent with DC and their movies, that because the directors were being creatively limited, a lot of directors were walking out on the Flash movie that they're making right now. A lot of directors walked out on that because they were being limited by the studio on what they can do as directors, and that really hurts the movie in the long term. So same thing with art and just any art. You don't want to limit the creator or the artist. You want them to be able to explore their inner brains and all the stuff that's up there. So I totally agree with him. But he says, on a happy note, he says, but don't worry, I'm going to give my best toward working on Dragon Quest XI. Please look forward to it, Akira Toriyama. So very, very interesting, guys. I love this. Just a really deep look into his honesty. He's being honest here. He's not worried about what other people think. He's giving us the true him and his feelings as an artist. And I'm sure if you're an artist watching this, you can really relate to his words and everything he said. He's talking from the heart. This is real talk, boys. This is real talk. Let me know what you guys think about Akira Toriyama. And let me know in the comments below what you thought about this letter. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know not many people are going to cover this, but I still think it's important for you guys to really get to know the man himself. Thank you guys for watching. In the meantime, please share this video because other people may never actually see this until you share it on Facebook. So please go ahead and do that. And make sure you watch my other 2 previous videos. They are very interesting and they go in depth into the upcoming arc of Dragon Ball Super. And I will see you guys tomorrow.